Okay, this is the fourth live session for 1920x1080. I ask you to introduce yourself with the team and say, are you a team leader? You are muted, Dana. Okay, and please introduce your team title. And if you are a team leader, very short, briefly report about your situation in the project. If you are not a team leader and you are the only member of the group, so also let me know who is the progress.
Excuse me, Dr. Zara.
With the left side, Caitlin, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. We're doing hours on admissions between medical surgery and cardiac in Minnesota. We've split up everything into 5 categories, so everybody has a category they're going to be covering or responsible for, and then we're working on literature reviews right now, and that's pretty much it.
And your team member, you are the team member what?
Yeah, team 4.
Team 4, okay.
Yes.
I see the Dana. Dana, do you want to go next? You are muted, Dana. Dana, you're muted. Okay. You are muted. Do you want me to unmute you? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm trying to find our topic. We're team 3.
Okay.
I'm the unofficial team lead. And we are splitting everything up as well. We're not taking like specific sections. Like everyone is not taking a specific section. We're just splitting it up as we see fit and who feels comfortable in what area.
Okay. And okay, so anyone else from team 3 here? No. Okay, thank you, Dana. Zara, do you want to go next?
I'm not a team leader, but just wanted to watch what you.
Okay, I can go to the next one if you're not ready yet.
This Zoom is just for the assignment group. Just a question. Each
question is about the team. Which team are you in, and how is the progress of the team?
Team 5. The Jessica is the as a lead, and we have different topic. I'm trying to find the email.
Okay, as long as Zara is looking at the topics, next one.
And I'm sorry, our topic is comparing discharges for ambulatory care sensitive conditions per 1,000 Medicare enrollees between Black and white.
Okay. Okay.
I'll tell you again, move.
Okay, thank you. Is it Eva? I see G-A-V-A, so there's a different name. Who is next to Zahra? I can see you, but I don't see your name. Anastasia, do you want to go next? You are muted, Anna.
Yes, I'm in group 4, just as Caitlin, so she just explained what stage we are at right now.
And what was the topic, Anna?
That's the difference in cardiac and surgery, Minnesota.
Okay. Oh, you're Caitlin discussed that. Thank you. My fault. Thank you. I have. Who is this? So I cannot read from this distance. Santiago, is it correct? Hi. You are muted.
I think I'm using my son's account. Sorry.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, okay.
Okay, so we're doing group 2. We're doing comparing A1C. Let me give you the whole.
Okay. A1C is for the diabetics, right?
Diabetes,
A1C, black and white.
65, 75. This disparity between diabetic Medicare enrollees between the age 65, 75 having hemoglobin A1C. So
And is it between two groups or between black and white or between two states?
black and white.
Black and white. And how is the progress of the team?
So we're communicating, but not as much.
Okay. Still, you have 2 weeks, so it's okay. But
yeah, because everybody has been working and you know, like assignments. But I think we're getting that we're communicating right now, which is good. So we're working on that. Erica, she couldn't be here. I asked her if she was going to be here, but she gave a lot of insight into what we're going to do. And I think she's going to do section 2. I offered section 1. And I haven't heard for the rest of the group. But I think the best way of communication that we're trying to get is through our personal emails. Sometimes we don't get like alerts from through UMUC. So
thank you very much for the great report. Okay, I see Tracy is here. Zara, did you find your topic?
Yes,
Tracy,
actually,
let's go with Zara
our group, where did you go? Our group, we are 5 members, and 4 of us, we are in A1C for lipids, diabetes, or blood pressure. Just one of us had the topic is racial and ethnic disparities among enrollees in Medicare Advantage plans. Yeah, the Jess is the lead group.
Okay, so similar to group 3. Yeah, okay, great. Any specific? Okay, thank you.
Dr. Zari.
Yes, Georgiana.
I would like to clarify the topic of the group for group 5.
Group 4. Are you in group 4 or group 5, Georgiana?
I mean group 5.
Group 5. Zahra, are you in group 5 too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So go ahead, Georgiana, go ahead.
The topic I have for approval from you through Jess is comparing average annual percent of diabetic Medicare enrollees age 65 to 75 having blood lipids between, between black and white. That was the topic, not A1C.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Okay, so I will check this out. So, but all the teams should be communicating and make sure each of them, because I remember a few of teams to just report, just submitted several topics. I approved one of them. I can go back at the end of this meeting and make sure each of them is correct. But as long as you are connected, so please make sure you are connected to each other and use email address, email, telephone, anything you like. Zoom is free, 45 minutes communication through the Zoom. And all of us are experts in Zoom now, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. Each of the students should have our topics, or
no, one topic for the team.
Okay, but for example, I don't know why they just ask all of us to post our topic, but now we have different topic. I don't know, did he send you an email to?
I will look at that in the class. I approve only one topic and I'm not sure inform group 5 or inform who, but inform one of the team members to communicate with the team as improvement for the topic.
Can I chip in something real quick, please? We have one topic, but we were asked to submit articles related to the topic so that the articles can be turned into Dr. Zari for approval, so we can use the articles to write our paper. So you should, Zara, kindly read the email, and it's all embedded in the email.
Okay.
It's just one topic.
The last email I got from Jess is just 5 different topics from all of us, you know.
No, articles are different from the topic.
The article. Oh, okay.
It's articles.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have already broke down who is doing what, the conclusion and all that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
so much.
Okay, thank you, Georgiana. I have, who is this? Is it Eva, right? Yaviti, who is this? I can't see the name. You are muted. Please introduce yourself so I have your name. Let me on. Okay. Eva. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So which group are you?
I am group 2.
Group 2. And group 2, no one reported. Oh, someone. A1C, black and white, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. And we have T43, number 2. We have all the groups. T, who is Tracy? Are you in group 1? Tracy? Tracy, can you hear me? Can't hear me. Okay, who is from the group 1?
Are you saying Teresa?
Oh, Teresa, sorry, Teresa. I'm so sorry, yes.
I'm in group 3.
Group 3.
Yes.
Group 1. No one is from here, from group 1, right? Anyone from group 1? I have group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. No one from group 1. Patricia, which group are you? You are muted, Patricia.
Okay, group 3.
Group 3. Okay, let's go with this. Any question regarding exercise 4 and 5? You can spend 15 minutes for that.
Yeah, there are 2 different R squared. One of them adjusted, and the other one degree of freedom. Which one you?
There is 2. One of them is the first one is R squared. The second one is adjusted R squared, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, please go with the first one. If you are using the RStudio, the first one is the first, and the adjusted is after that. For example, if there is adjusted is 0.46, the R squared should be 0.45, not a big differences.
Okay, degree of freedom is the R. Thank you.
Yeah, the degree of freedom is, whenever you have more than 120 observation, actually, doesn't matter because if you look at the because in this class we never discuss about the T student table, but please look at the T student table, Google it. Whenever you have more than 120 observation, then the P will not change. So yes, for that reason, it doesn't matter. That the adjusted R square and R square are so close to each other.
Thank you.
Yeah, the reason I ask you to record, because one of the main objective of this class is to learn how to read the output of the software, like RStudio here. Yeah. Because we really don't need to. It is good to understand the logic behind everything, and we need that. But with the new technology that you can do all the analysis in a minute. So you really don't need to spend hours and hours to compute them yourself. So, but you really need to understand what does it mean in any package.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I ask you to look at the R square. And the R square explains that, for example, the main problem with the regression is the error term, because we really don't know, for example, if you are including 10 different variables, for example, you're looking for the hospital benefits, and you run a regression, control for the hospital beds, you control for number of payers, you control for Medicare and Medicare patients. Still, we don't know, okay, if we include them, how many percentage of variance observed by the model. The R square, you explain that, okay, for example, this model, you have 46% of the variance has been observed. Actually, in the best situation, this model is work for 46% of the time.
Okay. And the exercise 5 is the same, the code is the same as the exercise 4?
Yes, but there are different models. For the exercise 4, did you ask, did you say exercise 4 and 5?
Yeah, the code is the same, yeah?
The codes are the same, yes. You mean the code for finding the number observation or for R-square?
For the everything, not just the R-square, just for the numbers.
You know, the codes is the same. It's not the same, actually. There's three different codes. One is for model 1, one is for model 2, one is for model 2. Let me open the RStudio and review that very fast.
No, for generate the code, it's the same.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, here you go. Where is model 4, exercise 3, exercise 4. Recent file, exercise 4. Let me share my screen.
Thank you.
Sure. Where is it? Please let me know if you see my RStudio. Can you see that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. This is model 4. This is exercise 4, and we should run everything till here to get this. Now, whenever here we are in model 1, this is model 1. And this is the linear model, right? This is the linear model for regression. This is a dependent variable. Anything after tilde is an independent variable. So it does mean this model is this one. So its benefit is a function of bets, ownership. This is the model. If you say y equal to beta naught plus beta 1 bet plus beta 2, it's first this one. Let's see. Plus beta 2 for profit plus beta 3 public plus beta 4 other plus error. This is the mathematical format of this model. I wrote here model, it's actually beta 2 for profit, beta 3 for public, and beta 4 for others. So don't write all of them. And then here I didn't write beta 0, right? Because that's a reference group for this one. Actually, RStudio compare all of this beta 2, beta 3, and beta 4 with the beta 0 for the ownership. And then if you run this model, you have this one, right? So I have a sink open. Let me close the sink. And then you can see this. Here. If I run this, this is the intercept. The intercept is constant. In any situation, all of the hospital has some kind of the benefits. None of them is a negative side. The impact of hospital beds is positive on benefits. So that makes sense, because with 1 unit increase in hospital bed, you expected to have about maybe $50,000 in benefits. It's slightly different. I'm talking about the marginal effects. I don't like to go very detailed on this and confuse you. Just let's to interpret that. So we expected to see 1 unit increase with adding 1 bed to the hospital. You expected to have $50,000 annual benefit, excluding anything else. The ownership is here negative. Ownership 2. The ownership 1 is this one for profit. Ownership 2 is this one. Ownership 3 is other. And there is, this is R square.
Multiple square and adjusted square.
No, you should report this one. Multiple R square. You should report, adjusted R square is different. They are very close. See, 0.04861, 0.04736. So I don't expect it too much different, but the R square is this one.
Okay.
And the degree of freedom is 3025. So even if it was something different, 150, still I expected to see almost the same result. Did I answer your questions, Zara?
Professor,
Thank you.
I don't mean to cut you off. Are you recording this so you can put it
I'm
on,
recording this, Teresa, yes.
Okay, great.
I know you had a question for this, yes. Yeah. And the model 2, I'm reviewing this, so for any of you have a question, because Tracy also asked me a question. Teresa, we have a Tracy. That's the reason I was thinking you are Tracy. I'm sorry. Okay. This is model 2. For model 2, this is this. We add here. So we add this variable, right? For model 2, we add one more variable, system membership. And whenever I add a system membership, I still see it's reduced the hospital beds. We have a reduction here compared with this model. We have 40,000, we have 13,000 here. Ownership is still negative, no significant, but affiliation, system affiliation more likely to increase the hospital benefits. That makes sense. For example, 2 or 3 years ago, the Howard County General Hospital affiliated with the Hopkins Center, Johns Hopkins University. So for now, we expected to have higher benefit for that hospital. That's the reason you see most of the hospitals are affiliating with each other. I mean, they are working as a cooperation. For model 3, and for this model here, so this is the coefficient. The question asks to report the coefficient. The estimators is the same. Estimates is the same as coefficient. The standard is here. And this is the p-value actually. Based on this p-value or these 3 asterisks, you can see if there is a significant differences, if there is a significant relationship between benefit and this. For example, if you look at the owner 1, 2, or 3, owner 11, 12, 13, there is negative, but there is no significant relationship because the p-value is more than 0.05, right? And here, the R-square is 0.052. Compare this together, 0.04, 0.05. This model is a stronger model than previous one. Now, we are including 2 more variables, Medicare and Medicaid discharge. And if you run this model, you see, okay, hospital bed is still significant, improved, right? 15,000. Actually, not 15,000, right? All of them is 100. Yeah, that's
15,000.
That's amazing. This is 151,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 10 times increase. Right. Still ownership is negative, not significant. System membership is not longer significant in this model because we are controlling by Medicare and Medicare discharge. Maybe the location of the hospital change, or maybe the hospital has a higher percentage of Medicare and Medicare. So anyhow, these are negative impact on the hospital benefits. But this is interesting. If you look at the R-square is a 0.19. This is the higher, stronger, and most strongest model between 3 models because this model observed 19% of variance between all these.
And
okay.
the N?
And the N is 2, the N is should be K plus 1 plus degree of freedom. This
should
is the
2977.
2969 plus 7 plus 1.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
2977. Thank you.
2969. So I don't know if I add him, it's gonna give me answer. 2969 plus 7 plus 1. Is it work here? That's great. It's working.
Yes.
Can't type here. Just
thank you.
Okay.
I had a quick question. So in order to get the not-for-profit, do we have to manipulate the code?
Yeah, that's really interesting question. That's really interesting question. To do that, yeah, you should, you should change.
I did it. I just want to make sure that that's what I was supposed to do.
If, for now, you don't need to do that because based on the current question, the non-for-profit is a reference group. It's a 0 or non-applicable. But if for your work, for your own purpose, if you like to see the impact of them, so you should change this here.
Right.
You should change the reference group.
Okay, I did, and that's why I was, but yeah. I should change it back to report those numbers then, or?
If you change that, you are answering a different question. For
okay.
the class exercise, you don't need to do that. So
okay, got it. I'll undo it.
This is it. This is the, most of them are non-for-profit, right? 0 non-for-profit. If you change that, you should generate a new variables, and the new variables, you should change the 0 to 1, any of them to the 0, because the RStudio considers the lowest number as a reference group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that was an interesting question. And what did you find if you change the reference group?
A lot of the numbers were no longer negative, but
the hospital bed should be negative, right? Probably.
Right. So hospital beds and the number and R squared, none of that changed.
Didn't change?
No.
Wow.
Maybe I didn't do it right then.
I expected to see, whenever you change the reference group, maybe the hospital bed should be the same still, but I expected to see changes in here.
Definitely between the 3, I did see, yes, changes in there.
Yeah.
They were not
but
the same.
Still you have the same, more likely, not exactly the same, very close R square. You still have the same for everything.
If I recall,
slightly different, but the same direction.
Okay.
Yeah, but this number will be changed. Okay, this is, do you have any question for this? Let's work on the plot and explain something on this. Okay, this is the scatter plot to see the hospital revenue and hospital beds, right? So most of the revenue is here, right? So whenever you go up, so if you look at this plot, you have at least one of the hospitals is a really high revenue. One of them is a really negative revenue. For that reason, it's really hard to understand this. But as you see, most of the point is populated around here. So they are receiving revenue less than 20, 200, $100 million, something like that. Yeah, if you look at this, $220 million, right? 2 multiply 10 on power of 8, $200 million. So this is usual. But if I go with this, I eliminated that and look at them closely. So this is much better shape, right? I exclude all the negative, I exclude all of them really high. Most of the hospital now located here. See if you go with this population. Most of the hospitals are receiving the benefit about $50 million a year. Some of them lower, some of them higher. But with increasing number of beds, look at this. Yeah, 1.5 billion for 4,000 beds hospital. This is for regression model. Any question here? Okay. Let's go to the Excel, to the team project. More likely you see this, right? Did you see this instruction?
Yes.
Okay. The team project, the first thing first, please make sure all the team members sign the team agreement. Not to sign, I mean, I don't need the official signature. I just make sure everyone has affiliated with this team. And this helps the team leader to manage the team. I usually gave 5 credit for the 2 team leaders. So that's for incentive. doing a lot of work. And the first section, I already approve all the topics. Whenever you have your topic, you should go with an introduction, about 1-page introduction, and discuss why do you think this topic is important. For example, if you're working with A1C, let's go with Medicare and surgery, and if you are talking with admission, and for here, I'm just giving an example for Caitlin model. So if you are comparing admission between surgery and cardiac, why these two topics, why these two are important? Maybe one idea should be most of the hospital admission should be these two, maybe more than 20% at least. Also, the cardiac problem is a major problem in the US, so this is important to look at. So I just give you 2 examples. And then I don't expect more than 2 or 3 paragraphs for this, maximum 1 page. And then this is the important part of this, because the team project has 2 main sections. The first section is a lit review. The lit review is based on the qualitative approach. The systematic review that we are learning on week 7, and you may like to go and look at the week 7 because the submission for the team project is end of week 7. You already have access to that, but we never review the literature review so far. All the material for literature review is in week 7. The literature review and the qualitative, the systematic review is a qualitative approach for qualitative research. Most of the exercise in this class is based on the quantitative. So we just add this section to the class to make sure you learn a little bit more about the qualitative approach. We did not include the interview. We did not include the Delphi, something like that, because that's more time consuming. And as a student, you have some limitation to do them. So you need time and money, and then none of them exist. So we just stay with the literature review. And for this section, I say between 3 to 5 articles. But if you have a team with at least with 5 members, please stay with 5. If you are a team with 4 members, please stay with 4. I don't see any team has less than 3 members. But in some case, if your team loses some members, just email me. So, and then we can, the number of articles you should review is based on the number of team members. I expected every member just review 1 article, summarize the article, and then go for the table of bias on something, because I'm going to explain that. In each article summary, you should consider these elements. A short introduction. I mean, the short introduction, I'd like to 2 or 3 sentences about the background of these articles. For example, if you're working on the, and also this is important, I really don't expect it to find exactly the same topic as an article. Otherwise, it's not a new article for you, right? If you have the same topic, cardiac surgery in Minnesota, cardiac and medical surgery. So this is not a new topic. So I expect, but if you are working, if you have a publication for the cardiac, the US, that's good. If you have a publication for surgery in the US, that's good too. If you have a publication for surgery and cardiac in Florida, that's even good, because you like to see how is the situation in the US. But if you have a topic, if you have articles comparing surgery and cardiac in Africa, that's not good, because everything is different between here and Africa. So whenever you have your article, it should be the peer review article. So no blog, no report. Peer review article is a article published in the journal, is a journal article. Short introduction, and if you look at the journal article and when you read this abstract, it depends on type of the journal, you can get 50% of information. Looking at the research methods, a good abstract can give you up to 75% of information you really need for the article. But you need to review the article because you need to go for the bias table. But for the summary section, it's really 70% of information are already in the abstract of each article. I'm not saying copy the abstract, but review the abstract, and it's very easy to go. Short introduction, research hypothesis for the articles. I expected to see all of them in the abstract. Methodology, including the data, year of the data, research method, I mean, most of the articles say regression model, t-test, something like that. Very short discussion, very short finding, and very short discussion. This one should not be more than 1 page. 5 articles, 5 pages max. 4.5 pages even better. But so then, whenever you have your articles, so if you have a problem for finding articles, let me know. Not in the week 7, but by end of this week. Then I will help you to find the article. Whenever you have an article, you should go with a bias table. For the bias table, we are using the Cochrane handbook, and the link is in the class. If you go and search that, you can find it. That's a free available book online, digital book. We are going with 5 different type of bias because there is one of the, I believe one of the posts this week, I saw a few members of class just discuss only 1 or 2 different type of bias in this research. Specifically, we are discussing that on week 7. Please review that content, class materials. And then we are going to look at the 5 different bias: selection bias, performance bias, detection, attrition, and reporting bias. And this is a definition for all of them. This is the table. You need to look for that. I know in the class we mentioned the RevMan, and I try to work with RevMan. It's a super slow program. For that reason, you don't need to use RevMan, but I'm going to show you how to use Excel to get the same output that we need for the RevMan. If you are personally interested to learn RevMan, so send me an email. I will set a Zoom session with you to learn about this package. This is a free package, but for this class, we only need the bias plot from RevMan. For that reason, you can easily do that with Excel. So I'm showing you how to use the Excel for this. Whenever you are reading the articles, this is important. At least 2 members of the team should review an article. For example, if you're reading my article and score them based on the bias. So this is a 3 score for this. Yes, 1, no, 0, neutral, missing, or non-applicable. So let's go with missing. You're reading an article and say, okay, this article has a high risk of bias. Yes, doesn't have any risk of bias. 0, unclear. Yes, 0. So it is still unclear to me. Is it has a bias or no? For that reason, some other member of the team should go with this. I'm asking Caitlin to review that and give this a score.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I'm just giving an example.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I reviewed this for the first one. This is my grade. Let me change this. I reviewed this, and this is my grade for the article based on the type of bias. Caitlin reviewed this. Let me go with a different color. And she gave this a score. Okay, 0 and 1. We have to score here, right? So I'm okay with this. Both of are on the same page. I'm not clear about this. I say no, Caitlin say yes. We are okay with this. We are not on agreement on this, and we are not on agreement on this. So the next person, the third member of the class, should be review this. And she or he will be tiebreaker, right? So she's gonna review and say, okay, this is 1, this is 0, this is unclear, this is 0, I agree with Caitlin, and this is I agree with Caitlin. So I have the score for this, 1, 2, 3. I have the score for this, and you go with a 2. If you have this, 2 members say 0, 0, 1 member says yes, so stay with 0, right? This is unclear. Number say 0. This is not average mean class. This is based on the frequency. Yeah, so you have 1, you have 2. At least 2 members need to review 1 articles and give their score independently. Please don't see it on the Skype and say, okay, I review this article, this is my grade, and say, okay, I review that, this is my grade. Every person should be independently reviewed articles. And you can make the number, but please don't do that, because I review the articles. I really need you to learn about this, because this is for the real life, and this is very important. Whenever you have this score, you can convert this table to Excel, and this is, I converted this to Excel, and let me go with these numbers here. I gave this number, right? So here I have these numbers here, 3, 0, unclear is this one, 0, 2. But let me go with this, because you don't have any logic for this, 0, 2. I assume that you don't see this. So you have these numbers, and you're gonna go with the graph. You can highlight this. I'm going very slowly, Zahra. You told me you were going so fast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You should go highlighted this one in the home. Click on the condition formatting here, icon sets, and you can go with one of these icons. For example, this one maybe anyone you like. So I just like to see maybe this one or this one. I'm going with this one because it's giving me a better idea. So 3, selection bias, yes. Well, what was the grade for this? Let me see. I'm sorry, this is my paper. Yes, 0, no 0, yes 1, no 0. Okay, this is a high, so this is it. So I don't have any score for this because this is unclear, so we can later add a non-applicable to this. For I don't have any bias for this, no bias for this. Reporting bias is yes, because it's, look at this. These are the 0, any 0 numbers show there is no type of bias here. This is really high bias, and this one is a borderline. So based on all the scores, so based on this analysis, I can say this paper has really high selection bias, doesn't have any performance bias, detection bias is unclear, the information is not enough to adjust the bias, the attrition bias is, there is no attrition bias for this, and there is a slightly reporting bias for this article. You should have for all of this, right? Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4. And you should summarize this at the very end. So this is for the table of bias. So instead of using the RevMan, you can use the same formula I used there. Copy this table to Excel. Click on here, copy. paste to the Excel, and then go with this. You can even select all of them together. Click on the home, click on the conditional formatting, and go to the icon set and set one of this icon, any of them you like. Okay, this is for this. And you should, whenever, so this is the lit review. For the lit review, you have, for example, 5 articles. You're gonna summarize the articles, 5 pages. In the page 6, I mean, maybe one title page, page number 1, introduction, page number 2, lit review, page number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? In page 8, you're gonna have this table and a closing summary. The closing summary, you should look at all of the information you have and say, based on the information, based on the reviewing, based on the article we have reviewed. So we select, for example, 5 articles, and in these articles we have, more likely we have a selection bias, less likely we have, so I don't expect it to say the same here. So maybe this should be like this, should be like this, 0, 3. So yeah, you should go with something like this. I don't think so. I'm just making some numbers, so I don't expect you to see exactly the same thing, but we can discuss based on this. Most of them is selection bias, and the second thing is reporting bias, and detection bias is a minor in all of them. So this is just making some numbers for your example. So whenever you have finished that, you have a closing summary just to discuss your finding based on the literature review. Then you're going to go with the second part of the assignment. The second part of the assignment is exactly as individual assignment 1 and 2. Individual assignment 1 and 2, you're going to go with a research question. After research, you know already what you have to do, right? Correct?
Yes.
Should go with a research question. For the method section, discuss which type of method you use. Usually, if you have a 2 population, none of the member has more than 2 population. Maybe for the next class, I need to go with more than 3 populations, and you can go with ANOVA test. But if you're using a 2 population, as I know from, well, so far I know all of the team has 2 populations, and then the right test is a t-test. So you're gonna say discuss your variable, and you have the format for individual assignment 1 and 2. And okay, you're gonna report a table of variables. You're gonna report the numbers and graph. But this is the important part for the last part, for the discussion and the results. So you have already all of this, right? For the conclusion and discussion, I expected a developed discussion, not exactly, because for the individual assignment 1 and 2, you didn't have any lit review. You just go with your findings. But for this assignment, you have a literature review based on 5 articles. I need you to just compare your number with 1 or 2 of them. So I say, okay, for example, here we found that there is a higher rate of, for example, utilization rate for white population in A1C, but the other articles we reviewed, they say different things, or they approve this idea. I need to add a citation and 1 or 2 sentences to say, okay, our finding is very similar to this, our finding is not similar to this. And then discover why your finding is similar, why your finding is not similar. I can say, okay, our findings are not similar because we use, for example, 2013 data, they are using the more recent data. This is one example. Our findings are similar because if there's a similarity, there's not much discussion. If there's no similarity, then you have to discuss why it's not similar. And then at the very end, please go over to 2 or 3 recommendations. So for this. This is all the page for the team project. Let's go 1 title page, 1 page, 1 page introduction, 5 page for the summary, 1 page for closing summary, for the summarizing of articles, And maximum 3 pages for the quantitative 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 11, plus 1 page, reference 12, maximum 12. If you are 10 and a half, this is fine. If you are 13 and 14, this is fine, but don't submit 20 pages, okay? Stay, limit your.
Excuse me, the summary, you said 5 pages. That means each page is for the one article.
Yes.
Okay. For each member, okay.
Because some of us, you know, for some of my class, they are the students, they like to write more, they discuss on details. So really, writing short is not always easy to writing short, right? It's much harder to write briefly, maybe.
Of course. Yeah,
and then please try to write short. For the real articles, you don't have more than 3,000 words.
3,000.
3,500 in the real article if you want to publish something.
Okay.
Depends on for example, I've submitted a systematic review and it was 18,000 words. And I have to reduce that to 3,000 words. I have to exclude more than 70% of my writing. They don't give you too much space to write. If they are so kind with you, it's going to be 5,000, not more than. So,
okay.
This is the real situation in the journal articles.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions yet, class?
I have a question with the article, group 2. Here it says there's 6 of us, and it says that you have to have 1 article for each member. But on their bios, we have to do the bios for 5 selected articles following the steps that you're mentioning here. So we can have 6 articles for the review. And
one person can work on introduction and the other members work on each summarizing, right? It's going to be. Okay. The 5 articles is the maximum. So one member can work on the introduction or review the article, do editing something. So there's a lot of work. I need to just,
so right now there is 6, but so we have 5 articles that we have to do the review, and then the extra member can do something else.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Thank you for volunteering to doing more, but 5 is fine.
I just want to make sure that we're doing that the right way.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So a part of our team, we're using Excel for our platform. We're using Excel and some are using RStudio. If we choose to use RStudio, will we receive extra points? Will the team receive extra points for using
Always you will receive extra point for using RStudio. Yes.
Okay.
Even for the final exam. Actually, the RStudio give you 10 points overall. So for that reason, my student I have a high rate of the 100 grade when I'm submitting the final. And then because even if you receive 90 and you are using RStudio, your final grade should be 100, right? So you have a chance for 10% variance.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Excuse me, that is for each member should have the plot also, or?
Yes. Yes. If the team use RStudio, our member will receive the point.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Zari,
yes,
so
Juliana.
The articles should be about how old? The articles returning in. Is it 10 years back or more?
I remember in one of these documents I mentioned not older than 2000, right? Is it? I think I mentioned
2005.
Don't go very. I said 2005.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't go before 2005.
No, before.
Yeah, don't go.
Yeah.
piece for 2005. Recently, I have to update 2010 because recently, 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the theory is about very fundamental articles. So, but for most of the quantitative, if it's not an economic article that's talking about the theory, about the model, so then should be the old data. So you cannot compare, for example, the number of diabetes in 2000 with the number of diabetes in 2020. It is okay to compare if you're looking for the trend. If you're looking for the trend, this is good.
That was going to be my question, that if, yeah, we're looking for a trend, so, and the data that we have is 2011. Is it okay if we want to look for that trend to compare, like from 2011
that's really interesting to go. If you are looking for the trend, yes, that's very good.
Yeah, so then we can find articles, like recent articles regarding that issue. Okay.
Yes.
That's a very, just to be clear, so at the end of it, we have to summarize each article that we turn in, a page each. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. One summary for each article and one closing summary at the end of literature review, because the assignment has two major sections. One section is a lit review, qualitative part. The second section is a quantitative part. I expected one paragraph closing summary for the literature review.
From each person?
No, just one closing summary for the assignment.
On the closing summary and the articles, so what we're going to do is basically, are we going to talk about the 5 articles or just pick?
We're going to discuss the table of bias.
On the closing summary?
Yes.
And you're going to pick whatever, all the articles, or just the one that you want to emphasize?
It depends on the result of the bias table. If all of them is low quality articles, one of them is really important articles, it's really depend on the score you get.
It depends. Okay, so we don't have to, like, it's not like, okay, you have to discuss at the end everything. So it's just the ones that, okay.
I expect you to discuss the table of bias. So based on the table of bias, actually, I don't like to just go summarize 5 different articles and go to the next section, because I want to see if someone read your paper and only look at the closing summary, you should understand what you did for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
So pretty much the articles should all be on the same line. So if the table is a low table of what we're talking about, then most of our articles should be on that low. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I got it. And if we're talking about high, then the articles should be high.
Yes.
So according to what the table is, that's what we should be looking for.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, in the real world, in the systematic review, because there's a lots of publication, right? If you go to the diabetics, you will find, I am doing a research on diabetics, right? So I just, with one word, you can find more than 30,000 articles for diabetes. Yeah. I'm gonna filter for black and white, and it's reduced to 4,000. I'm gonna go with a DPP plan, it's reduced to 1,000 articles. I'm interested in the CHW, community health forecast, it's reduced to 69 articles. And then I need to review all the 69 articles to find the most related articles. So so after 69 abstract, I just selected 14 articles. For these 14 articles, I need to go for the bias table and say, okay, from all these articles, this is the real message. I will share with you one of the real systematic reviews, if just in case you'd like to see. You know, we have lots of information, but all of them is not high quality information. it is really, in a real systematic, it's really hard to find 20 high quality articles. It is impossible to find, I say any articles, but 99% at least there is one type of bias in each article. It doesn't mean they are not a good writer or not a good author. It doesn't, maybe sometimes they didn't have a time to spend on articles. Maybe sometimes they didn't have enough money to spend time. Maybe one of them was super busy to do something. So, and maybe the journal didn't require them. So there's lots of things going to have a low quality publication. And if you review 5 different articles, you understand, okay, whenever you're writing something, you should consider which elements, because all of them can generate a type of bias. And that type of bias is going to reduce the quality of your paper. Okay. Any other questions?
Excuse me, Dr. What happened to the assignment 2 grades? Are you still working?
I have to grade you. It's my plan for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm working on 2 papers for COVID-19, so that's the reason I'm a little behind sales. I'm trying to see what's happening in the US with this COVID-19. So.
Oh my gosh.
So what have you come up with so far?
I'm involved in 5 articles. 2 of them is I'm the first author. So we are working to see what's the impact on the hospital, what's the impact on the community, what's the impact on the real, what's happening, for example, because in some cities we have a really high mortality rate, in the other cities we don't have. The question is, what elements define the mortality in each country? This is the research question. So, and as you know, the data is really limited data. The main source of data is a 2 or 3 source of data. We have only the mortality rates. It's not possible to merge this data with any other things. We have to go with 1 year before, estimate that with this current year and say, okay, with all of this assumption, what we have to do that. But an article published recently by Harvard University shows in the area with high pollution rates, they expected to see higher mortality rates.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. This is really interesting. So, but I promised someone to do some analysis tomorrow for the paper. We're gonna submit to German next week, but still I have to grade all of it. This is in my plan.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Not so far.
If any of you are interested to working on the COVID and you really have a good idea, please email me. I would love to talk to you to see what the idea is and how we can work together.
Dr. Za, we are actually submitting a retrospect IRB. Well, I'm not writing, of course, but I'm preparing it for cardiac issues, because obviously that's an issue. So they're looking at echocardiograms. So that was pretty interesting and a lot of prep.
Yeah, really.
Not finished with.
If I can help you, so just make sure. Yeah, right. I would be happy. Yeah, okay. That's, yeah, if you have any good idea for the COVID-19 and you're interested to work on that, please be in contact.
Sure.
Okay, if you don't have any questions, so I'm almost finished with this. I don't have any further things to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna post this video, and this is the end of this video. Have a good time.
You too.
Take care of yourself. Stay safe and healthy.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Dr.
I said, don't forget me.
You wanna stay, you want to connect after this using the same Zoom, okay? I'm here, Trace.
Okay.
Now. I'm disconnecting this and then you connect again.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Is anyone asking any questions?
All right now, Dr. Za.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
This is the end of meeting. Goodbye, everyone.